Well, Australia's struggling cinema industry has been dealt another blow with the release of a major films delayed yet again. From James Bond to Peter Rabbit 2, big-budget movies are stuck in limbo, while smaller films are relegated to release on home streaming services.
So could the inability to release them spell the end for Hollywood's big blockbusters? Weekend Sunrise movie man Jason Jabba Davis has been investigating.
It was supposed to be one of the biggest films of 2020. And now Daniel Craig's final appearance as James Bond has been pushed back to October 2021, thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Come on, Bond. Where the hell are you?
The big news out of Hollywood this week, No Time to Die, the 25th James Bond film delayed again. What's going on, Wenlei?
Yeah, Bond is a bit like the canary in the coal mine for the film industry. It's the third time it's been delayed, and each time Bond has been the first movie to go, and then every other big movie follows.
You're late.
When you're ready.
In another blow for the famous franchise, it's being reported scenes from the film may now have to be reshot, as the delays wreak havoc with time-sensitive product placement deals.
Why is Bond so important to the kind of global movie business?
I think Bond is one of those movies that is a huge draw around the world, so they want to maximise buttons on seats. If cinemas are closed in the US and the UK, these are enormous markets where they make a lot of money, then they can't make the kind of money back that they want. It's not just, trying to make back a $200, $300 million budget. They're looking for $1 billion in box office, and you can't do that if people are at home.
Other major releases that have been delayed again include Peter Rabbit 2, shot here in Australia, which will now come out in June. And Ghostbusters Afterlife has been pushed back to November. In America, Wonder Woman 1984 was released on the HBO Max streaming service, but over here it's still got a cinematic release.
Black Widow is probably meant to be the next big film after Bond that's due for release. Will Disney wait it out or maybe release it on Disney+?
Black Widow is a really interesting one to see. We haven't had a Marvel Studios movie out in more than 18 months. That's the longest that we've ever waited.
We have unfinished business. We have to go back to where it all started.
Marvel has a very specific strategy around their releases, and even as recently as 2 weeks ago, when they came out with their first Disney Plus TV series, WandaVision, the Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige reiterated again that they make movies that are to be seen on the big screen, and then they make TV shows that are to be seen on Disney Plus.
One silver lining to the Hollywood crisis is the boom it's caused in our own local film industry. Last weekend, The Dry and Penguin Bloom became the first Aussie films to sit at number 1 and 2 at the box office. And The Dry looks set to become one of the highest grossing Aussie films ever, making almost $13 million so far.
So you've heard some stories about me.
I've heard some.
But with so many major films sitting on the shelf and not generating any cash, is the pandemic jeopardising the future ability of movie studios to make cinema-worthy films if there's nowhere to release them?
Are we at risk of losing big-budget blockbusters?
I don't think we're seeing the end of the blockbuster. I mean, the global box office in 2019 was north of $40 billion.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
There is a built-in audience for people like Tom Cruise, people who like Scarlett Johansson, people who like The Rock. They will turn out and they will see them anyway.
So while there's plenty of quality Aussie content at the movies right now, you'll just have to wait a bit longer for a blockbuster on the big screen.
If we don't do this, there will be nothing left to save.
And another Hollywood blockbuster has now been pushed back due to the pandemic. Baz Luhrmann's Elvis Presley biopic, which is shot here in Australia, has unfortunately been delayed again. Fans, though, can expect to see the film next year.